From Hell film. From Hell is a 2001 English period horror thriller film directed by the Hughes Brothers and written by Terry Hayes and Rafael Yglesias. It is loosely based on the graphic novel of the same name by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell about the Jack the Ripper murders. The film stars Johnny Depp as Frederick Abberline, the lead investigator of the murders, and Heather Graham as Mary Kelly, a prostitute targeted by the Ripper. Other cast members include Ian Holm, Robbie Coltrane, Ian Richardson, and Jason Flemyng. From Hell was theatrically released in the United States on October 19, 2001 by 20th Century Fox. The film grossed over $74 million worldwide and received mixed reviews from critics, with many praising the performances, particularly those of Depp and Graham, atmosphere and production values, but was negatively compared to its source material. Plot: in 1888, Mary Kelly and a small group of London prostitutes trudge through unrelenting daily misery. Their friend and crook is a former prostitute now married to a wealthy painter named Albert, and she has recently given birth to a daughter, Alice. When Anne is kidnapped, the women are drawn into a conspiracy with links to high society. Anne's kidnapping is followed by the gruesome murder of another one of the women, and it soon becomes apparent that each of the prostitutes is being hunted, murdered, and mutilated post-mortem by a killer called Jack the Ripper. The prostitute murders grab the attention of Whitechapel Police Inspector Frederick Abberline, a brilliant yet troubled man whose police work is often aided by his psychic visions. Abberline is still grieving the death of his wife during childbirth 2 years earlier. His colleague Sergeant Peter Godley tries to grasp Abberline's strange theories. Abberline's investigations reveal that an educated person, likely knowledgeable in human anatomy, is responsible for the murders because of the highly precise surgical methods used. Anne is soon located in a workhouse after being lobotomized because doctors deemed her violent and insane. It is implied that the operation was performed in order to silence her. Abberline consults Sir William Gull, a physician to the royal family, drawing on his experience and knowledge of medicine. During this meeting, Gull deduces that Abberline is struggling with opium addiction. Gull's findings point Abberline to a darker, more organized conspiracy than he had originally suspected. Abberline becomes deeply involved with the case, which takes on personal meaning when he falls in love with Mary. Abberline deduces that Freemason influence is involved in the murders. His superior, a high-ranking Freemason, opposes Abberline's methods and suspends him from the case. Thereafter, Abberline persists and discovers that Gull is the killer. Gull was instructed to dispose of all witnesses to the forbidden marriage of painter Albert Sickert to Anne Crook, the mother of his legitimate daughter, Alice. Sickert is revealed to be Prince Albert, grandson of reigning Queen Victoria. Albert is dying of syphilis, which makes baby Alice the soon-to-be heiress to the British throne. Gull boasts to Abberline that he will be remembered in history for giving birth to the 20th century. Abberline draws his gun, vowing that Gull will never see the 20th century. But before he is able to shoot Gull, he is knocked out by Ben Kidney, another Freemason. The Freemasons try to eliminate Abberline. Abberline rushes to save Mary but arrives too late and blames his superior for not helping him or Godley on the cases. Gull's increasingly sinister behavior lends an insight into his murderous but calculating mind. Rather than publicly charge Gull, the Freemasons lobotomize him to protect themselves and the royal family from the scandal. Gull defiantly states he has no equal among men, remaining unrepentant until the operation, which renders him an invalid like Anne. Abberline goes to the Ten Bells Tavern in Whitechapel and receives a mysterious letter from Mary. It is revealed that Gull had mistaken another sex worker, Ada, for Mary and killed her instead. To protect Mary, Abberline decides not to look for her, as the Freemasons are still watching him closely. He burns Mary's letter, knowing that he can never have a normal life with her. Sergeant Godley later finds Abberline dead of an opium overdose. Distraught, Godley places 2 coins over Abberline's eyes and mournfully says, "Good night, sweet prince." Years later, Mary is shown to have adopted Alice, and the two are living in a cottage on a cliff by the sea. Cast. Production. The film took several years to reach production, and two studios had owned the property before it found its home at Fox. The Hughes brothers originally wanted Daniel Day-Lewis to play Abberline. In a 1997 interview, Alan Moore stated that Sean Connery had been cast in the role. When Connery dropped out, the Hughes brothers met with Brad Pitt and Jude Law before deciding to cast Johnny Depp. Principal photography began on June 5, 2000 in and around Prague, Czech Republic, and at Barrandov Studios on a massive backlot set recreating the 19th-century Whitechapel district of London. Additional exteriors were filmed in the United Kingdom, including at Crackington Haven, Boscastle in Cornwall, and Golding's Estate in Hertfordshire. Nigel Hawthorne was originally cast as Sir William Gull, but on July 26, 2000, it was announced that Hawthorne had withdrawn from the role because of his terminal cancer. He was replaced by Ian Holm. The disparity in height between Hawthorne and the much shorter Holm forced some of the scenes to be altered. Hawthorne died 2 months after the film's release. Marilyn Manson originally intended to work with the film's composer Trevor Jones to remix portions of the score for use within the film. It proved impossible to do this work before the film's release date, so Manson instead contributed a remixed version of his song The Nobodies, which plays over the film's end credits. Reception. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 57% based on 151 reviews, with an average rating of 5.30/10. The site's critic consensus reads visually impressive, but this latest Ripper tale is dull and far from scary. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 54 out of 100 based on 32 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on and a plus to F scale. Online stated that the film is 2 hours of gory murders, non-sequitur scenes, and an undeveloped romance, and gave the film a C. The New York Post called it a gripping and stylish thriller. Roger Ebert awarded the film 2 thumbs up. Leonard Maltin gave the film 3 stars, calling it colorful and entertaining, an impressive showing for the Hughes brothers. Empire's Kim Newman awarded the film 4 out of 5 stars, praising the range of squirmingly superior British acting talent, although noting that the script can't quite sell its Jack, as at once a purposeful assassin and a mad killer. Philip French was impressed by the film, praising Depp's very good performance, as well as those who played the Ripper's victims. French also praised the production design and cinematography, which evoked representations of London by the artists Whistler and John Atkinson Grimshaw. The original comics writer, Alan Moore, criticized the replacement of his gruff version of Frederick Abberline with an absinthe-swilling dandy. Box office. The film grossed $31.06 million in the United States and a total of $74.06 million worldwide. In its opening weekend, the film earned $11 million, finishing first before dropping to third place in its second weekend with $6.03 million. When Monsters, Inc. was released on the third weekend, From Hell would hold on with a 38% drop. Home video. From Hell was released by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment on DVD and VHS on May 14, 2002. The DVD release consists of single disc and 2-disc Director's Limited Edition versions. These versions are both THX certified. On October 9, 2007, the film was released on Blu-ray disc.